Have you ever wondered what might be hidden under the thick, icy blanket of Antarctica? It's a vast frozen frontier, largely untouched and unexplored. Beneath the ice, preserved for millions of years, there are secrets of our Earth's history and perhaps even mysteries of life beyond our planet. From the remains of gigantic dinosaurs that roamed during a bygone warm period, sea creatures that defy imagination, to woolly mammoths perfectly preserved in ice and Antarctic wolves that have evolved to survive the cold. But even more intriguing are the tales of potential alien life trapped in the vast expanses of ice. What if the great frozen desert of the South is guarding the secrets of extraterrestrial visitors? Strap in, because we're about to dive deep beneath the ice and discover the chilling secrets of Antarctica. Did you know that Antarctica wasn't always the ice-laden landscape we see today? Indeed, there was a time when this now frigid continent was teeming with life, and yes, that includes dinosaurs. Millions of years ago, during the Mesozoic era, Antarctica was part of the supercontinent known as Gondwana, alongside what are now South America, Africa, India, and Australia. During this time, Antarctica was a lush forested region filled with a diverse array of prehistoric animals, including dinosaurs. The discovery of the first dinosaur remains in Antarctica was made on James Ross Island in 1986. These were the bones of the Antarctic Cryolophosaurus, a large theropod dinosaur that lived during the early Jurassic period. This predator, whose name means frozen crested lizard, could grow up to 6.5 meters long. Then there was the Antarctic hadrosaur, a herbivorous dinosaur discovered in the late Cretaceous deposits of the James Ross Basin. The discovery of the hadrosaur remains in 1998 was significant, as it suggested that these animals could have lived in polar regions year-round, enduring months of winter darkness and likely cold conditions. A more recent discovery in 2016 was the first ever fossilized dinosaur feathers in the southern hemisphere, found on Vega Island in Antarctica. This finding further reinforced the fact that a diverse range of dinosaurs once roamed this now icy landscape. The discoveries of these dinosaur remains, along with many other species of prehistoric plants and animals, has provided scientists with invaluable information about life on Earth during the Mesozoic era, and about the drastic climatic changes that have occurred on our planet over millions of years. Let's plunge into the depths of the Antarctic waters for a moment. This icy frontier is home to a surprisingly diverse array of life, many of which seem almost alien in their adaptations to this frigid environment. But among these organisms, the ones that truly catch our attention are the sea creatures from the distant past. Frozen in the Antarctic ice, we have found evidence of creatures that no longer roam our seas. These fossils tell a fascinating story about the Earth's past and the life that once thrived here. Among these discoveries are remnants of long-extinct marine creatures, each offering a tantalizing glimpse into the prehistoric world. One notable find is the colossal carnivorous sea spider Colossendes, a genus that was once much larger than their present-day counterparts. An ancestor of this massive spider was discovered in Antarctica, its body reaching a staggering 90 centimeters across, making it one of the most massive sea spiders to ever exist. To put this into perspective, the largest sea spiders today only reach a span of about 70 centimeters. Then there are the ichthyosaurs, marine reptiles that roamed the oceans during the era of the dinosaurs. Fossil remnants of these aquatic beasts have been found in the Antarctic, including an impressive specimen that measured a whopping 5 meters long. Finally, we can't forget about the numerous varieties of ancient fish that once swam in these icy waters. Among the most impressive are the Devonian-aged armored fish, whose fossilized remains give us a fascinating insight into the Earth's early marine ecosystems. These discoveries are not just relics from the past. They provide valuable information about the Earth's prehistoric climates, helping scientists model and predict the planet's future in the face of modern climate change. Life in the Antarctic may seem limited to a handful of specialized species, but as these ancient marine fossils reveal, this desolate landscape was once teeming with life in its most exotic forms. Let's journey from the past to the realm of speculative science fiction, or perhaps not so speculative after all. For years, rumors and conjecture have circulated about the possible existence of extraterrestrial technology hidden deep beneath the Antarctic ice. For many, these tales are the stuff of science fiction. But what if there's more to the story? Researchers from various fields have noted some highly unusual findings in Antarctica, which could imply the presence of something not of this Earth. Satellite images have revealed peculiar anomalies under the ice, structures that seem too precise and symmetrical to be naturally occurring. More intriguing still are the eyewitness testimonies from military personnel and researchers who claim to have seen unidentified flying objects, UFOs, in the area. These testimonies often coincide with instances of unexplained equipment malfunctions and missing time, phenomena often associated with UFO encounters. Even more tantalizing are stories about Operation High Jump, a post-World War II United States Navy operation in Antarctica. Some conspiracy theorists suggest that the real purpose of this operation was to find and possibly engage with extraterrestrial technology hidden under the ice. These theories gained additional traction with the release of declassified FBI documents in which an informant reported about flying saucers recovered in New Mexico. These saucers were described as being equipped with radiant energy devices, which aligns with Bob Lazar's claims about recovered extraterrestrial technology. Could a similar recovery operation have occurred in the Antarctic? Let's turn our attention to a creature that's synonymous with the Ice Age, the woolly mammoth. Now, you might think these gigantic furry beasts were exclusive to the northern climes of Siberia and North America, but prepare to be surprised. Scientists have found evidence of what appear to be the woolly mammoth's distant relatives in the southernmost part of the world, Antarctica. This comes as a shock to many, as the image of these mammoth beasts lumbering through a snow-blanketed landscape is so ingrained in our minds. Yet here's where it gets fascinating. Around 40 million years ago, during the Eocene epoch, the climate was much warmer than it is today. There were no polar ice caps, and instead of icy deserts, these regions were covered with forests. This warmer climate would have provided pathways for these giant beasts to traverse the globe, including what we now know as Antarctica. Fossils uncovered in this icy desert have given scientists reason to believe that a mammoth-like creature once roamed here. These include fossilized teeth and bone fragments that bear a striking similarity to those of the woolly mammoth. But here's the twist. These Antarctic mammoths would have been isolated from their northern cousins for millions of years. In this icy environment, they could have evolved different adaptations, possibly becoming a unique species entirely. It's like a woolly mammoth, but not as we know it. This extraordinary find rewrites what we know about these fascinating creatures and demonstrates that even in the harshest environments, life finds a way. The Antarctic woolly mammoth reminds us that Earth's past was a vastly different world, holding secrets we're only beginning to uncover. Let's shift our focus from the gigantic to the canine. In the white wilderness of Antarctica, remnants of an extinct wolf species have been discovered, named the Antarctic wolf. This discovery is both curious and confounding. Why, you might ask? Well, because Antarctica is not known to have ever been a habitat for large mammals, especially not during the era this wolf is believed to have lived. The Antarctic wolf is a relatively recent discovery, found in the mid-20th century by a team of explorers. The specimens discovered were well preserved in the East, a canine time capsule providing a fascinating snapshot of life in the Pleistocene era. They're thought to have been about the size of a modern grey wolf, with a powerful build adapted for survival in harsh conditions. But what was a wolf doing in Antarctica, a land of perpetual ice and snow? It's believed that this wolf species migrated to the continent during a period of lower sea levels, possibly during an ice age when Antarctica was connected to South America via a land bridge. They would have hunted the prehistoric herbivores of the time, much like their counterparts in other parts of the world. The real question is how they managed to survive in such an inhospitable environment. Were they adapted to withstand the extreme cold? Or did they have a particularly thick coat or a specialized diet? The answers to these questions remain a mystery, but with each new find, we're able to piece together a more complete picture of this lost species and its life in the Antarctic wilderness. Ultimately, the discovery of the Antarctic wolf demonstrates the resilience of life, its ability to adapt and thrive in even the most challenging of environments. And just like the other frozen relics we've discussed, it offers a tantalizing glimpse into the rich tapestry of life that once existed in the frozen heart of Antarctica. Marsupials, those fascinating creatures we often associate with Australia's outback, have also made an unexpected appearance in the most unlikely of places, Antarctica. And I'm not just talking about a single species. Several extinct marsupial species related to modern-day wombats and kangaroos have been found preserved in Antarctica's ice. These discoveries were made in the late 1980s and early 1990s, when a team of paleontologists stumbled upon fossilized remains of marsupials in the Transantarctic Mountains. The remains were of a species named Antarctodolops dalei. But how did marsupials, more commonly associated with warmer climates, end up in the deep freeze of Antarctica? One theory proposes that during the time these marsupials lived, roughly 40 million years ago, Antarctica had a much warmer climate. It was a time when Antarctica was still attached to Australia as part of the supercontinent Gondwana, and it was covered in lush forests, making it a paradise for marsupials. As the continents drifted apart and Antarctica moved towards the South Pole, the climate changed dramatically. It became colder and eventually turned into the icy desert we know today. But before this drastic climate change, marsupials thrived, grazing on the verdant vegetation and avoiding predators. Discoveries like these are crucial in understanding the history of life on Earth. They highlight how our planet has changed over time, shaping the evolution and distribution of species. The Antarctic marsupials offer a unique perspective on how creatures adapt to their environment and the impact of climate and geographical shifts on biodiversity. It's fascinating, isn't it? How a place we associate with extreme cold and barren landscapes was once home to these diverse and complex organisms. And there you have it. From ancient marsupials that call into question our understanding of historical climates to tantalizing hints of alien mysteries, Antarctica is more than just a frozen wasteland. It's a time capsule, a treasure trove of natural history, and possibly even a beacon for life beyond our own planet. As we continue to explore and learn more about this vast icy desert, we discover that our planet is even more fascinating and complex than we could have ever imagined. And who knows, the next big discovery could be just beneath our feet. What if I told you that one of the most secretive and mysterious places on Earth is also one of the coldest? A place that holds hidden mountain ranges, alien-like landscapes, and clandestine meetings of the world's most influential figures. A place that has been agreed upon by nearly every nation to remain untouched, yet is the subject of countless expeditions and rumors of covert operations. We're talking about Antarctica, a land of snow and ice and a hotbed of intrigue. So let's embark on a chilling journey to the world's southernmost continent, shall we? Antarctica, Earth's southernmost continent, home to sub-zero temperatures, colossal glaciers, and a distinct lack of permanent residents. But this isn't just a barren, icy wilderness. In fact, it's a place that piques our collective curiosity. Could this frozen wasteland be teeming with secrets just waiting to be uncovered? Antarctica boasts an array of fascinating and unique geographic features, the likes of which can't be found anywhere else on Earth. Its expansive ice sheets, the largest single mass of ice on our planet, are powerful enough to influence global weather patterns and sea levels. Beneath this icy surface lies a diverse landscape of mountains, valleys, and even subglacial lakes, their secrets perfectly preserved by the unforgiving cold. Amid these extreme conditions, life persists. Antarctica is home to a rich array of wildlife, from the regal emperor penguins to the tiny hardy tardigrades. Yet human habitation here is temporary and limited, with no native or permanent residents. The people who do venture here are usually scientists living in research stations, studying everything from climate change to astrobiology, in conditions that are as close as we can get to those on other planets. And then, of course, there's the ominous polar night. And for about half the year, the sun never rises over the Antarctic horizon, plunging the continent into months of relentless darkness. Imagine standing there, beneath the ethereal glow of the aurora australis, the frozen plains stretching out before you as far as the eye can see, untouched and silent. It's in this profound silence and isolation that one begins to wonder, what secrets does Antarctica hold? Why do people, some of them very influential, visit this icy, inhospitable wilderness? Could there be clandestine meetings occurring in the hushed silence of its frozen expanse? Antarctica's enduring allure lies in its isolation, its extreme conditions, and its inaccessibility. It's a place that challenges our understanding of life and survival, a testament to nature's raw power and resilience. It's a place of mystery and beauty, of ice and isolation. But the real question that hangs over this icy wilderness is this: what secrets does it hold? Let's start by exploring the enigma that is Antarctica. So we've talked about the famous faces who've been to Antarctica and the ambiguities surrounding their trips. But what about the mysterious missions that have taken place in this frozen wasteland? Because as it turns out, Antarctica has been the stage for several undertakings that still baffle us today. Let's begin with Operation High Jump. This expedition, led by the United States Navy in 1946, was officially a scientific and exploratory mission. But the scale was staggering. Around 4,000 personnel, 13 ships and numerous aircraft were involved, making it the largest Antarctic expedition ever. Officially, the mission was to establish a research base and to test military hardware in extreme conditions. Yet the operation ended abruptly, well before the planned 8-month duration. Why was that? Well, the official explanation was unfavorable weather conditions, but conspiracy theorists suggest there might be more to it. Another significant event was the Soviet Union's Antarctic expeditions in the late 1950s and 60s, particularly the establishment of the Vostok station. Beneath this station lies the hidden Lake Vostok, a vast untouched body of water cut off from the world for possibly millions of years. Could the Soviet Union have been interested in something more than just scientific research? But perhaps one of the most intriguing stories of Antarctic exploration is the British Operation Tabarin of 1943. Officially, this mission aimed to provide a British presence in the Antarctic, denying access to the area for enemy ships and submarines during World War II. But the secrecy surrounding it, plus the establishment of permanently occupied bases, led to speculations about potential ulterior motives. All these missions, while draped in the mantle of science and exploration, had undertones of military strategy, geopolitical influence, or, according to some, even darker purposes. Whether it was the Americans, the Soviets, or the British, each expedition left behind a legacy of unanswered questions. What were these nations truly seeking in the vast, icy expanse of Antarctica? The answers, much like the continent itself, remain in mystery and ice. Now, you may be wondering, who are these high-profile visitors we're talking about? Well, over the years there have been several intriguing instances of noted individuals journeying to the Antarctic. Let's delve into a few of these enigmatic encounters. One of the most famous figures to visit Antarctica was none other than the Secretary of State of the United States, John Kerry. This happened in 2016 during the last days of his term in office. What makes this trip interesting isn't just the timing, but also the reasoning. While the stated purpose was to learn about the effects of climate change, conspiracy theorists suggest there could be more to the story. Then we have the case of the revered Apollo astronaut Buzz Aldrin, who journeyed to the South Pole at the age of 86. The official reason? A tourist visit. But Aldrin's trip, given his NASA background, spurred theories about potential extraterrestrial interests in the region. Rounding up our list is Prince Harry of the United Kingdom, who trekked to the South Pole with wounded veterans in a charity event. But was this just a charity event, or was there something else to this royal visit? And let's not forget the Russian Orthodox Church's Patriarch Kirill, who also visited a Russian scientific base in Antarctica. His motive? To bless the continent, or was there a hidden reason? All these visits by people from different nations and fields, each with their own stated reasons, seem to suggest that there might be more happening on this icy, deserted continent than meets the eye. Given the constraints and difficulties of getting to Antarctica, one has to ask, why would these people from various parts of the world take the time and effort to visit this inhospitable land? And why do these visits often seem in secrecy or ambiguity? Is it merely a coincidence that these powerful figures chose to venture to the Earth's southernmost point? Or could there be clandestine motivations hidden beneath the iceberg? We can only hypothesize and wonder as Antarctica continues to keep its secrets well guarded. The allure of Antarctica doesn't end with its geopolitical intrigue or its VIP guest list. The land itself holds secrets that baffle scientists and thrill seekers alike. For instance, beneath its icy surface, Antarctica hides the Gambotsav Mountains, a mountain range as grand as the Alps, entirely buried under miles of ice. Discovered in 1958 by Soviet scientists, these ghost mountains remain a mystery, with scientists still unsure how they formed or why they haven't eroded away. But it's not just mountains that Antarctica keeps under wraps. Lake Vostok, which I mentioned earlier, is another of Antarctica's hidden marvels. It's one of the largest lakes on Earth by volume, and it's been sealed off from the world under kilometers of ice for 15 million years. Who knows what kind of life might have evolved in its dark, cold waters over such a vast span of time? Even stranger are the eerie phenomena that occur on the icy continent. Take the Blood Falls, for instance, a flow of iron-rich water that stains the Taylor Glacier a horrifying shade of red. Or the massive, nearly perfect circular hole in the sea ice, known as a polynya, that keeps appearing and disappearing in the Weddell Sea, baffling scientists. Then there's the bloop, an ultra-low-frequency, high-amplitude underwater sound detected by NOAA in 1997. While scientists think the noise is most likely from icequakes, others believe it could be a giant, unknown sea creature lurking in the icy depths. But perhaps the biggest secret of all is the mystery of what lies beneath the ice. Scientists have found evidence of warm caves, heated by volcanic activity, that could potentially host life. Additionally, satellite imagery has revealed strange, unnatural-looking structures beneath the ice, leading to wild speculations about lost civilizations or even extraterrestrial bases. These elements, together with the political and historical mysteries we've discussed, make Antarctica a hotbed of intrigue. Despite its frigid temperatures, what secrets does this icy fortress still hold? Only time, exploration, and science can tell. Let's begin with a question. What is the only continent on Earth without a native human population? If you guessed Antarctica, you'd be correct. This naturally leads to the question, who owns Antarctica? Interestingly, nobody does. In fact, the continent is governed by a pioneering piece of legislation, known as the Antarctic Treaty. The Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959, is an unprecedented international agreement that has been in place for over half a century. This groundbreaking pact, ratified by 54 parties as of now, suspends national claims to territory in Antarctica, making the continent a shared scientific preserve. But what's even more fascinating is that it prohibits military activity, mineral mining, nuclear testing, and nuclear waste disposal. Imagine the foresight it took to keep one of Earth's last frontiers free from exploitation and conflict. Antarctica, in essence, represents a remarkable experiment in international cooperation and peace. It's an attempt to maintain the pristine condition of the continent and its ecosystems for future generations. The treaty also encourages freedom of scientific investigation and cooperation between nations, and this cooperation has led to some monumental discoveries in fields like geology, glaciology, and climatology. Not to mention, it has provided us with invaluable insights into the history of our planet and the effects of climate change. Now, while all these regulations are in place, the treaty doesn't explicitly ban human presence or certain types of activity. It has specific provisions for inspection and observation by any party, at any time. However, the mystery deepens when we learn that while countries have the liberty to send scientific expeditions, many reports suggest that VIPs and important figures have visited the icy continent under hushed circumstances. So, why would these important personalities want to visit the coldest, windiest, driest, and arguably the harshest place on Earth? Is it the allure of the untamed wilderness? Or are there secret meetings taking place beneath the guise of scientific expeditions? The conjectures only add to the aura of mystery that surrounds Antarctica. The icy fortress of Antarctica, filled with political VIP visitors, daring missions, and natural wonders that defy comprehension. Whether it's secret meetings, ghost mountains, eerie sounds, or potential extraterrestrial bases, Antarctica continues to baffle, intrigue, and fascinate us. As the world advances, so does our curiosity and our ability to explore these remaining frontiers. Only time, exploration, and science will reveal the full scope of Antarctica's secrets. Until then, the call of the unknown, the allure of uncharted territory, the thrill of new discovery, they're powerful motivators. They have driven us to the depths of the oceans, to the peaks of the highest mountains, and even out into the farthest reaches of space. But sometimes the unknown bites back. Today we're stepping into the icy, desolate, yet mesmerizing world of Antarctica, and our guides for this chilling journey are none other than the brave, or perhaps the foolhardy crew of the Belgica, who embarked on a perilous Antarctic expedition in the late 19th century. What can their ill-fated voyage teach us about human perseverance, the power of ingenuity, and the high price of exploration? Let's dive in. Picture this, it's August 1897. A sturdy oak-framed ship with triple-sheathed hull named Belgica embarks from the historic city of Antwerp, Belgium. This three-masted vessel, constructed with the strength to withstand the fierce Antarctic conditions, was destined to be a part of history as it set sail under the Belgian flag. The expedition was captained by Adrien de Gerlache, a driven, audacious 31-year-old Belgian naval officer. It was his spirit of adventure that prompted him to invest his personal fortune into this expedition. His motivation was not mere territorial conquest, as it was with so many explorers of the age. No, de Gerlache was driven by scientific curiosity, with the intention to explore the largely uncharted Antarctic region and contribute to the understanding of its mysterious icy wilderness. The crew, handpicked by de Gerlache himself, was as diverse as they were courageous. The Belgica was manned by an international team, which included the American doctor Frederick Cook and Roald Amundsen, a young Norwegian who would later be famed for leading the first successful expedition to the South Pole. As the Belgica cut through the North Sea and later through the unforgiving waters of the South Atlantic, excitement among the crew was palpable. They were bound by a shared sense of purpose, each man knowing that they were on the brink of a groundbreaking expedition that could expand the world as they knew it. But, as they would soon discover, Antarctica's icy seas had other plans. Upon reaching the Antarctic waters, the Belgica was greeted with a sight that was as beautiful as it was eerie. Massive icebergs floated like spectral monoliths in the ocean, their peaks illuminated by the ethereal Antarctic light. The silence of the landscape was broken only by the harsh scraping of ice against the Belgica's reinforced hull. These first encounters with the Antarctic landscape served as a chilling reminder of the perils that lay ahead. On February 28, 1898, the Belgica got entrapped in the Antarctic pack ice. The crew watched with growing concern as the sea around them turned into a vast plain of solid ice. Trapped far from civilization, in a sea frozen into immobility, the Belgica and her crew were left to the mercy of the unforgiving Antarctic winter. Imagine the psychological impact this would have had on the crew. Trapped in an icy prison, with the darkness of the polar night descending upon them, the crew had to face the unsettling reality that they were stuck in the ice with no means of escape. However, as daunting as their predicity was, de Gerlache insisted on maintaining scientific operations. The crew continued to take meteorological and magnetic readings, hunted for penguins and seals, and dug ice tunnels for temperature readings. In many ways, the Belgica's enforced halt turned it into an ad hoc polar research station. For the next several months, the ship was enveloped in almost continuous darkness. The days and nights blurred into an unending twilight, punctuated only by the green and pink flickers of the aurora australis. The stunning beauty of the southern lights offered a stark contrast to the bleak reality of their predicament. The Belgica was lost in the coldest place on Earth, with no guarantee of ever escaping its icy grip. As the full severity of the Antarctic winter began to set in, life aboard the Belgica became increasingly grim. The lack of sunlight and the monotony of the ice-locked seascape took a toll on the crew's mental health. The polar night, with its unending darkness, is psychologically unnerving in a way few of us can truly understand. The temperature outside regularly plunged below -30 degrees Celsius, which was so cold that it caused the ship's outer hull to groan and creak as it contracted. The men had to take shifts to chip away the ice accumulating on the ship's exterior to prevent it from being crushed. Their diet, consisting largely of tinned food, was hardly appetizing or nutritious, and it began to affect their health. Scurvy, caused by vitamin C deficiency, began to appear among the crew. The ship's cat, Nansen, named after the famed Norwegian explorer, sadly became one of the first victims, losing its life to the freezing conditions. Conditions worsened when the ship's doctor, Frederick Cook, identified the first signs of polar madness, or polar hysteria, as he termed it, among the crew. The unending darkness, extreme cold, and monotonous isolated conditions led to symptoms of severe depression, anxiety, and paranoia. Cook was not just the ship's doctor, but also its psychologist, treating both the physical and psychological illnesses on board. The grim winter brought them face to face not just with physical hardships, but a psychological battle of endurance. In these harsh conditions, the men had to fight not just for survival, but for their sanity as well. When faced with such a daunting survival situation, the crew of the Belgica had to get creative. Dr. Cook, realizing the lack of vitamins in their diet, suggested hunting for fresh meat. The frozen wasteland was not completely devoid of life, and they were able to supplement their diet with Antarctic seabirds and penguins, dramatically improving their health. Crew morale was another critical issue to address. Imagine being stuck in a cold, dark, monotonous environment for an extended period. The psychological stress is unimaginable. To counter this, the crew initiated a daily routine that included chores, scientific work, and even social activities. Regular meals, group reading sessions, and music performances were organized to break the monotony and bring some semblance of normalcy. In addition, to fight the darkness-induced depression, a rudimentary light therapy was devised. Sunlight, or its absence, can significantly impact our mood, sleep, and overall well-being. Recognizing this, Dr. Cook installed a light room where the crew members could bathe in the light emitted by the ship's carbon arc lamps, simulating sunlight and staving off the worst effects of the polar darkness. This creative solution was, in essence, one of the earliest uses of phototherapy, a practice now widespread in modern medicine to treat conditions like seasonal affective disorder. Despite these measures, surviving the harsh Antarctic winter was not an easy task. The crew battled frostbite, near starvation, madness, and despair. Some of them, such as the Belgian sailor Augusta Karl Wienke, tragically didn't make it. But against all odds, most of the crew survived, waiting desperately for the summer thaw to free their ship from the ice's grip. Finally, after months of grueling hardship, the summer sun began to peek over the horizon, hinting at the end of the long Antarctic winter. But despite the slight warming, the Belgica remained firmly trapped in the ice. Survival had shifted into another phase: escape. Dr. Cook and Amundsen, already having demonstrated remarkable leadership in maintaining the crew's morale and health, now turned their attention to freeing the Belgica from its icy prison. They understood that waiting passively could mean another winter trapped in the ice, a scenario they knew the crew could not survive, so they devised a plan to manually break and saw the ice around the Belgica. It was a monumental task, given the ice was several feet thick, and the ship was trapped for nearly a mile's length. Armed with pickaxes, saws, and shovels, the crew labored diligently, chipping away at the frozen ocean. They even attempted to blast the ice with explosives, only to find the shock could damage the Belgica's hull. After weeks of grueling labor, they made progress. The crew, in a feat of extraordinary determination, carved a channel nearly 900 meters long and wide enough for the Belgica to pass through. However, there was another obstacle. The ship's engines, unused and unmaintained for more than a year, were in dire condition. But with some improvised repairs and the combined strength of the desperate crew, they managed to get the engines working just enough. On February 15, 1899, the crew of the Belgica, tired, worn but unbroken, began their journey through the channel they had carved. With the ship shuddering and groaning against the pressure of the ice, they made slow progress. It was an arduous and nerve-wracking journey. But on March 14, 1899, more than a year after they first became trapped, the Belgica finally broke free from the ice and sailed into the open waters of the Antarctic Ocean, marking the end of their harrowing ordeal. This escape from the ice was not just a triumph over the harsh Antarctic environment, it was a testament to human resilience, ingenuity, and the indomitable will to survive. Despite the odds, they had managed to turn a desperate situation into a story of survival and scientific discovery. And in doing so, the crew of the Belgica etched their names into the annals of polar exploration. The Belgica expedition may have been a harrowing and grueling ordeal, but its impact extends far beyond the survival story. The team, led by the indomitable Gerlach and Cook, collected a wealth of scientific data that would contribute significantly to our understanding of Antarctica. The crew's observations, measurements, and samples helped shape the scientific community's perceptions of the world's most remote and inhospitable continent. They catalogued new species, took extensive meteorological data, and mapped parts of the Antarctic coast, providing a foundation for future expeditions. Moreover, the psychological impact of the long, dark winter and the crew's struggle with polar madness contributed to an early understanding of seasonal affective disorder. Cook's method of using a carefully balanced diet to combat scurvy would inform future Antarctic expeditions and change maritime health practices. And so the saga of the Belgica serves as a chilling reminder of the cost of venturing into the unknown, the fine line between bravery and folly, and the incredible feats humans can accomplish in the face of adversity. The crew of the Belgica didn't conquer Antarctica. Instead, they fell victim to its unforgiving nature. Yet, through perseverance, teamwork, and a good deal of desperate ingenuity, they overcame their ordeal, offering us an awe-inspiring testament to human resilience. As we gaze upon the vast expanse of the Antarctic through their eyes, we are humbly reminded that the unknown still holds many secrets and challenges, even as our thirst for exploration continues. Have you ever wondered what secrets are buried beneath the sands of time? Picture this: ancient Egypt, a civilization that left behind architectural wonders like the Sphinx and the pyramids. But what if everything we've been taught about these iconic structures is just a fraction of their true story? Consider the possibility that the pyramids and the Sphinx could be older than the Egyptians themselves. That the Sphinx might once have been Anubis, the jackal-headed god, and that the pyramids might contain mathematical marvels and alignments with celestial bodies. Intricacies that could suggest a technology or knowledge way beyond the human capability of that era, perhaps pointing towards alien gods. Let's look at the Great Sphinx, a symbol of ancient Egypt that continues to perplex scholars today. The Sphinx is like a silent sentinel, sitting on the Giza Plateau, its weathered face gazing eastward towards the rising sun. But if you examine the Sphinx closely, there are clues in its geology that suggest its story may be more complex than we initially thought. One geologist, Dr. Robert Schoch, first brought attention to this in the 90s when he proposed a controversial theory about the Sphinx's age. He noticed that the erosion patterns on the Sphinx appeared to have been caused by water. Not just a bit of rain, but thousands of years of heavy rainfall, the kind that hasn't occurred in the Giza region for about 10,000 years since the end of the last ice age. Now, traditional Egyptology places the construction of the Sphinx in the reign of Pharaoh Khafre, around 2500 BCE, when the area was already an arid desert. So, where did this water come from? Schoch proposed that the Sphinx may be far older than traditionally believed, dating back to a time when Egypt was a lush tropical landscape with heavy monsoons and flash floods. Of course, the implications of this are profound, shaking the bedrock of our historical understanding. If the Sphinx was weathered by water, and this weathering occurred before Egypt became a desert, it would mean that the monument was already ancient by the time the first pharaoh took the throne. It also begs the question, who built it? The civilization capable of such monumental architecture would predate any we know of. Could there be an unknown advanced civilization lost to the sands of time waiting to be discovered? Isn't that what makes history so exciting? The fact that we don't have all the answers yet. Let's now delve into an even more controversial theory surrounding the Sphinx. Now we've all been brought up knowing it as the Sphinx, but what if it wasn't always a lion-bodied, human-headed creature that we see today? What if it was something different? This theory brings us to Robert Temple, a British author and researcher. He proposed a highly debated theory that the Great Sphinx was originally not a sphinx at all, but was instead a massive statue of the jackal god Anubis. Yes, you heard it right. Anubis, the god of embalming and the dead, known for guiding souls in the afterlife. But why Anubis? Temple noted that the current human head of the Sphinx is proportionally much smaller than its body, which could indicate that the head was recarved from a larger original. In this case, a jackal head would fit the larger body better in proportion. Besides, Anubis is typically portrayed as a recumbent canine or a muscular man with a jackal's head, not so far from the Sphinx's current layout. Moreover, there's the location of the Sphinx to consider. It sits in front of the Khafre's pyramid as if it's guarding the entrance to the afterlife, a job usually assigned to Anubis in ancient Egyptian mythology. Could it be that the Sphinx, which literally means living image, was the living image of Anubis instead of the human-headed lion we see today? As you might imagine, this hypothesis has been met with skepticism from mainstream Egyptologists. There are many factors to consider, including the established symbolism of lion-bodied creatures in the ancient world and the absence of any ancient texts referring to the Sphinx as Anubis. Our curiosity's only just getting started. Theories like these challenge the status quo and keep us asking questions. After all, isn't it a bit weird? The awe-inspiring Great Pyramids of Giza are not only remarkable because of their massive scale, but also due to their mathematical precision and alignment. You know, the kind of precision that is surprisingly difficult to achieve even today with all our modern technology and tools. This leads us to ask, how could an ancient civilization accomplish such a feat? Let's start with the Great Pyramid of Giza, also known as the Pyramid of Khufu. It's the largest of the three pyramids, originally standing at an astonishing 481 feet. Not to mention, it was the tallest man-made structure in the world for over 3,800 years, until the completion of Lincoln Cathedral in England in the 14th century. But it's not just about the size. The base of the Great Pyramid is a near-perfect square, with each side measuring about 756 feet. The level of precision is such that the difference in lengths between the four sides is less than 2 inches. Moreover, each side of the pyramid is carefully aligned to one of the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, again with an astoundingly minimal error. This already seems remarkable, right? But hold on to your seats because it's about to get a lot more intriguing. The Pyramid of Khufu, along with the other two pyramids of Giza, are positioned in a way that mirrors the alignment of the 3 stars in the belt of the constellation Orion. In ancient Egyptian mythology, Orion was associated with the god Osiris, the god of the afterlife. This cosmic correlation suggests a deep understanding of astronomy that goes beyond mere chance. The mathematical sophistication and astronomical alignment present in these pyramids point to a highly advanced civilization, but again, the question remains, how was this accomplished? Mainstream history tells us that this was all done by sheer human ingenuity and labor, using simple tools and methods. Others, however, speculate about intervention from a higher intelligence, perhaps even extraterrestrial. The theories are as vast and intriguing as the pyramids themselves. Isn't it all just amazing? Or maybe it's just a bit weird. There's a saying that goes, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. If we were to time travel thousands of years back and show a smartphone to the ancient Egyptians, they would likely see it as a divine or magical artifact. With this perspective, some researchers suggest that the pyramids, and indeed much of the awe-inspiring accomplishments of ancient Egypt, may have been influenced or even directly facilitated by extraterrestrial entities, whom the ancients may have perceived as gods. There is a theory known as the ancient astronaut theory that proposes the interaction of extraterrestrial beings with ancient humans. Supporters of this theory suggest that much of the technology, knowledge, and spiritual understanding of our ancient civilizations was handed down from these celestial visitors. The idea has gained popularity due to authors like Erich von Däniken and shows like Ancient Aliens on the History Channel. Let's take a closer look at this theory in the context of ancient Egypt. Proponents point out that the construction of the pyramids, especially given the remarkable mathematical precision and astronomical alignments, could not have been possible with the tools and knowledge known to exist during the reign of Pharaoh Khufu. Therefore, they argue, the pyramids might be the result of technology or knowledge provided by an advanced, non-human civilization. Further fueling this theory are the Egyptian texts and artwork that seem to depict what could be interpreted as advanced technology or celestial beings. One example is the hieroglyphs in the Temple of Seti I in Abydos that bear an uncanny resemblance to modern aircrafts. Also, many ancient Egyptian deities were associated with celestial bodies and were believed to possess incredible powers. Could it be that these gods were extraterrestrials, perceived as divine due to their advanced technology and knowledge? Were they the ones who instructed or aided the Egyptians in constructing the pyramids? The Great Pyramid of Giza is not just a testament to the engineering prowess of the ancient Egyptians, it's also an architectural mystery that seems to embed a deep connection to the cosmos. Let's delve into the intriguing details of how the structures on the Giza Plateau reflect an intimate understanding of the heavens, an understanding that seems surprisingly advanced for a civilization from more than 4,000 years ago. It's well known that the layout of the 3 primary pyramids mirrors the positioning of the stars in Orion's belt. This correlation was brought to the forefront by Robert Bauval and Adrian Gilbert in their Orion correlation theory. The three stars of Orion's belt, Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka, align almost perfectly with the apexes of the three pyramids of Giza. Moreover, the orientation of the pyramids to the north is so precise that it deviates from true north by just 3/60th of a degree. Could the builders have had an advanced astronomical knowledge, or perhaps assistance from a more advanced civilization? Going deeper, the Great Pyramid itself has elements of celestial alignment. Its narrow shafts, dubbed air shafts or spirit stones, seem to be aimed at specific stars. The southern shaft of the King's Chamber points to Orion, while the northern shaft points to the circumpolar stars. Similarly, in the Queen's Chamber, one shaft points to Sirius, the brightest star in the sky, and another points to the Ursa Minor constellation. It's fascinating to think that these structures, built thousands of years ago, could act as star pointers. Adding another layer of intrigue, the Sphinx also shows signs of astronomical alignments. The Sphinx faces due east, and some theorists propose that it was designed to observe the equinoxes and solstices. The theory of the Sphinx representing the constellation of Leo during the Age of Leo, approximately 10,500 BCE, as proposed by Robert Bauval and Graham Hancock, challenges mainstream chronology and makes us question our understanding of the Sphinx and its origins. While skeptics argue these alignments could be coincidental, it's hard to dismiss the accuracy and precision involved. Could it be a random occurrence, or is it evidence of an ancient civilization that had deep astronomical knowledge? Or perhaps even a sign of extraterrestrial intervention? As we continue to explore and decipher the secrets of ancient Egypt, the questions just keep piling up. And as always, thanks for watching. As we delve into the past, we discover that our history is full of mysteries and questions that even today's technology struggles to answer. From water erosion on the Sphinx to the possibility of Anubis taking its place, from the marvel of mathematical precision in pyramids to the curious celestial alignments, we're left pondering if human hands alone were capable of these feats, or if there were other extraterrestrial forces at play. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, one thing is for sure: the more we explore, the more fascinating our world becomes. Antarctica, Earth's southernmost and most unexplored continent, has long beckoned explorers, scientists, and those with an insatiable curiosity for the unknown. Beneath its icy facade lies a complex world of geological wonders, biological richness, and mysterious phenomena that both challenge our understanding and ignite our imagination. From the hidden mountains and ancient forests entombed in ice to unexplained anomalies that spark wild speculation, Antarctica's secrets are as vast and profound as the icy wilderness itself. Join me as we embark on a journey to unravel the top 5 mysteries of this frozen land, venturing into the realms of science, history, and interesting conspiracy. Antarctica, the frozen continent at the end of the world, has long been a source of fascination and intrigue. Its icy expanses hold not only the geological and biological wonders previously mentioned, but also a series of unexplained anomalies and mysterious occurrences that have captivated the imagination of many. Some researchers and enthusiasts have speculated about the existence of hidden or lost civilizations buried beneath Antarctica's ice. Satellite images revealing unusual structures and symmetrical patterns under the ice have fueled these theories. While most scientists attribute these features to natural geological formations, the idea of ancient human settlements frozen in time continues to capture the imagination. Discoveries of such civilizations, if ever proven, would indeed rewrite human history and our understanding of early migration patterns. In recent years, there have been reports of world leaders and prominent billionaires visiting Antarctica, sometimes without clear explanations for their trips. These visits have spurred a wave of conspiracy theories and speculations about secret meetings, hidden bases, and undisclosed scientific experiments. While some believe these journeys are tied to climate research or philanthropy, others think they could be linked to something more mysterious. Antarctica is home to magnetic anomalies that have puzzled scientists. Some areas exhibit unexpected variations in the Earth's magnetic field, which cannot be easily explained by known geological features. These anomalies have led to speculations about hidden metallic objects or underground structures, further adding to the mystique of the continent. Researchers have recorded strange sounds emanating from the ice in certain parts of Antarctica. These haunting, otherworldly noises are likely the result of natural phenomena, such as wind resonating through ice crevasses. or the movement of ice sheets. However, they have also sparked curiosity and speculation about unknown or supernatural forces at play. Antarctica's isolation and otherworldliness have given rise to myths and legends that permeate popular culture. Stories of hidden entrances to Hollow Earth, secret bases, and extraterrestrial encounters all find a place in the lore surrounding this frozen land. While much of the intrigue surrounding Antarctica's unexplained anomalies falls into the realm of speculation and conspiracy, these mysteries serve as a reminder of our endless curiosity. When we think of Antarctica, we often envision a land of ice and snow, a frozen wilderness untouched by time. But the discovery of ancient forests and fossilized remains tells a different story, a story of a green and vibrant past hidden beneath layers of ice. Approximately 90 million years ago, during the Cretaceous period, parts of Antarctica were teeming with life. The climate was much warmer, and lush temperate forests flourished along the coastlines. These ancient forests were home to various types of plants, including ferns, conifers, and flowering plants, as well as a variety of insect and animal species. The evidence of this prehistoric paradise has been preserved in fossil form, with discoveries ranging from petrified wood to ancient leaf impressions. These fossils paint a vivid picture of a landscape that was once as biologically diverse as any modern forest. But the ancient forests of Antarctica hold more than just plant fossils. Researchers have also unearthed remnants of marine reptiles, fish, and even dinosaur bones. These discoveries provide valuable insights into the ecosystems that once thrived in this now frozen land and contribute to our broader understanding of life on Earth during the Mesozoic era. The discovery and study of these fossils are no small feat. Unearthing these ancient remnants requires painstaking excavation in some of the harshest conditions on the planet. The extreme cold, powerful winds, and logistical challenges of working in Antarctica make every discovery a monumental achievement. Yet the rewards are profound. The fossils found in Antarctica offer a unique window into a time when the continents were arranged differently and global climate patterns were unlike those of today. By studying these ancient organisms and their environment, scientists can unravel the complex history of our planet's climate, geological evolution, and biological diversity. Deep beneath the miles-thick ice of East Antarctica lies a hidden geological marvel, the Gambotsav Mountains. This mountain range, comparable in size to the Alps, is completely concealed by the vast ice sheet that covers the continent. Its discovery in the 1950s during a Soviet expedition was a startling revelation, sparking questions and curiosity that persist to this day. The very existence of the Gambotsav Mountains is a geological puzzle. Unlike most mountain ranges, they are not located at the edges of tectonic plates where mountains commonly form. Instead, they're situated at the heart of the continent, far from the typical geological forces responsible for mountain building. How did such a massive mountain range come to be in this unlikely location? Scientists have proposed several theories to explain the origin of the Gambotsav Mountains. Some believe they were formed over 1 billion years ago during the assembly of the supercontinent Rodinia and have been preserved due to the unique geological conditions of Antarctica. Others suggest that they might be the result of a more recent geological activity, such as the collision of ancient land masses or upwelling of magma from the Earth's mantle. Exploring the Gambotsav Mountains presents enormous challenges. The ice covering the range is often more than 2 miles thick, making conventional geological studies impossible. To see beneath the ice, researchers have utilized cutting-edge technology such as ice-penetrating radar and seismic imaging. These tools have revealed glimpses of the hidden peaks and valleys, but much remains to be discovered. The study of the Gambotsav Mountains is not just a curiosity. It has broader implications for our understanding of the Earth's geological processes. By uncovering the secrets of these hidden mountains, scientists can gain insights into the forces that shape our planet, the dynamics of ice sheets, and even the history of climate change. The ice above the mountains contains valuable records of the Earth's past climate, offering clues to the future behavior of Antarctica's ice and its potential impact on global sea levels. The Gambotsav Mountains are a reminder of the awe-inspiring complexity of our planet. Hidden from view, they challenge our perceptions. We are reminded that even in the most explored age of human history, our world still holds secrets waiting to be discovered. Buried beneath more than 2 miles of solid ice in the heart of Antarctica lies Lake Vostok, one of the largest and most mysterious subglacial lakes on Earth. Sealed off from the outside world for more than 15 million years, Lake Vostok is a hidden realm that has piqued the curiosity of scientists, explorers, and dreamers alike. Lake Vostok's isolation has preserved it in a state that might closely resemble the conditions found on icy moons like Jupiter's Europa. The extreme cold, immense pressure, and complete absence of sunlight have created an environment that challenges our understanding of where life can exist. Yet the lake might harbor microbial organisms that have adapted to these harsh conditions, potentially providing a unique glimpse into the very limits of life on Earth. The exploration of Lake Vostok is a challenging endeavor that pushes the boundaries of technology and human ingenuity. Drilling through the massive ice sheet without contaminating the pristine waters below requires precise techniques and careful planning. The Russian Vostok station, situated above the lake, has been instrumental in these exploratory efforts, with scientists successfully reaching the lake's surface in 2012. Yet the secrets of Lake Vostok are not easily unveiled. The few samples obtained so far have revealed tantalizing hints of microbial life, but a comprehensive understanding of what lies within the lake's dark waters remains elusive. The complexity of studying an environment so remote and so carefully shielded by nature has made every discovery a hard-fought victory. The scientific significance of Lake Vostok extends beyond the bounds of biology and into the realms of geology, climatology, and planetary science. The ice sheet above the lake contains layers of ice deposited over hundreds of thousands of years, acting as a chronological record of Earth's climate. By studying these layers, scientists can reconstruct past climate conditions, shedding light on the Earth's climatic history and helping to predict future changes. In the remote wilderness of Antarctica's McMurdo Dry Valleys, a startling phenomenon captivates the eyes of those fortunate enough to witness it. The Blood Falls, a 5-story waterfall, oozes from the Taylor Glacier's ice like a slow bleed, staining the pure white snow with a color that can only be described as blood red. But what causes this unsettling sight? The answer is both scientific and deeply fascinating. The red hue is the result of a high concentration of iron salts in the water, which rusts upon contact with the air. But the source of this iron-rich water is where the real mystery begins. Trapped beneath the glacier, a subglacial lake has been isolated from the atmosphere for nearly 2 million years. Within this dark, saline environment, an ancient microbial ecosystem thrives, cut off from sunlight and surviving in extreme cold and salinity. The study of these microbial life forms has opened new doors in understanding life's adaptability. These extremophiles have developed unique biochemical pathways to sustain their existence in conditions that were once thought to be inhospitable for life. As scientists study these organisms, they unravel secrets that may provide insights into the possibilities of life on other planets, especially in environments similar to the cold, dark brine beneath Antarctica's glaciers. But the exploration of the Blood Falls is not without its challenges. Drilling into the ice to access the subglacial lake requires specialized equipment and careful consideration of environmental impacts. Did you know that the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth was -128.6 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was recorded in Antarctica? But what if I told you that beneath this hostile, frigid expanse, there might be traces of ancient civilizations? Sounds outlandish, doesn't it? But stick with me, because this icy mystery is a rabbit hole that goes deep into our past. Today we're going to delve into a world that is often overlooked in our discourse about ancient civilizations, the frozen continent of Antarctica. Now, Antarctica might be the last place you would think of when it comes to ancient civilizations. After all, it's the coldest, windiest, and driest continent, a harsh landscape covered in ice up to a mile thick. It's seemingly inhospitable, an icy wilderness that is the definition of desolation. And yet, what if I told you that this freezing wasteland may have once been a bustling hub of ancient activity? Through the ages, Antarctica has been subject to a variety of hypotheses and theories. It has always been a source of mystery, partly due to its inaccessibility and the harsh conditions that make exploration a formidable challenge. Some theories suggest that this continent, now hidden beneath miles of ice, was once home to ancient civilizations that we can hardly imagine. These theories often hinge on controversial interpretations of satellite imagery, ancient maps, and unique structures spotted under the ice, suggesting human or perhaps even non-human activity. One of the most famous pieces of evidence is the Piri Reis map, a pre-modern world map compiled in 1513 by the Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri Reis. Part of this map shows the northern part of Antarctica, ice-free, which has led to speculations about ancient maritime civilizations with advanced geographical knowledge. Critics, however, argue that the map is a compilation of multiple sources, some of which may have been flawed. Satellite imagery of Antarctica has also led to intrigue and speculation. In 2006, Google Earth users spotted a formation in Antarctica that looked uncannily like a face, leading to suggestions of a lost civilization. Scientists, however, think that this is a natural phenomenon known as pareidolia, where the mind perceives a familiar pattern where none actually exists. The most provocative theories suggest that ancient alien civilizations could have once made their home on the icy continent, pointing towards supposed pyramid-like structures visible beneath the ice, though these claims are yet to find any substantial scientific backing. So, what is the truth? Is it possible that an ancient civilization could have once existed in this inhospitable landscape? Or are these theories the products of overactive imaginations and misinterpreted data? It's time for us to embark on a journey of exploration and discovery into the icy depths of Antarctica. We're all familiar with the mysteries of the ancient world, but Antarctica's mysteries are, well, colder and much more unusual. There are theories that take our understanding of ancient civilizations and flip it on its head, painting a picture of a past that is both startling and thought-provoking. Let's delve into some of these unconventional theories, each with its unique blend of mystery, speculation, and a dash of audaciousness. The first, and perhaps the most known, is the hypothesis that Antarctica is the lost continent of Atlantis. Proponents of this theory suggest that around 12,000 years ago, the entire continent was shifted from a temperate zone to the South Pole due to Earth's crust displacement, a controversial idea put forward by Charles Hapgood in the 1950s. This cataclysmic event, they suggest, froze the sophisticated Atlantean civilization in a matter of days, preserving it beneath the ice. But what about those pyramid-like structures I mentioned earlier? Some theorize that these are remnants of this ancient civilization. These structures, visible via satellite, bear an uncanny resemblance to the pyramids of Egypt and Central America. However, most scientists argue that these pyramid-like formations are likely the result of natural erosion and wind patterns unique to Antarctica. And then there's the theory of an ancient extraterrestrial outpost in Antarctica. It's been suggested that some of the unusual formations and anomalies found on the continent may be the remains of alien technology or structures. Proponents of this idea often cite supposed UFO sightings and unexplained phenomena in the region. But again, these claims have not found widespread acceptance in the scientific community. And let's not forget the speculation surrounding ancient maps, like the Piri Reis and Orontius Phineas maps, which seem to depict the Antarctic coastline free of ice, suggesting that the cartographers had knowledge of the continent long before it was officially discovered. Skeptics, however, argue that these maps are based on guesswork and mistaken interpretations of other landmasses. The Piri Reis map has long been a subject of fascination among historians, cartographers, and conspiracy theorists alike. Drawn in 1513 by Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri Reis, this map illustrates parts of Europe, Africa, and the Americas with surprising accuracy for the time. But the intrigue doesn't stop there. The southernmost portion of the map seems to depict the northern coastline of Antarctica, a landmass not officially discovered until 1820. But how is that possible? Some proponents of unconventional theories suggest that the map is evidence of an advanced ancient civilization that had detailed geographical knowledge long before modern science. They argue that the Piri Reis map, along with other similar cartographic anomalies, proves that ancient mariners must have charted the Antarctic coast when it was free of ice, a situation that hasn't existed for over 34,000 years according to current scientific understanding. The details of the Piri Reis map are remarkable. It is said to include mountain ranges that were not discovered until the advent of modern seismic surveys, and even features a detailed depiction of the Andean Range in South America, which is surprisingly accurate for a 16th century map. However, skeptics caution against reading too much into these observations. They argue that the map's supposed depiction of Antarctica could be based on a misunderstanding of the South American coastline. As for the extraordinary detail, they suggest that this could be the result of synthesis from a variety of sources, some of which may have contained errors or embellishments. Despite the debate, one fact remains. The Piri Reis map is an extraordinary piece of historical cartography. It offers a glimpse into the knowledge and skill of early 16th century navigators and the seafaring cultures that produced them. And although the debate around the Piri Reis map and its implications for our understanding of ancient civilizations will likely continue, it undeniably continues to add a layer of mystery to that is Antarctica. As we continue to dig deeper into our past, we are left pondering, what else is waiting to be discovered? As you might expect, the scientific community's perspective on the possibility of ancient civilizations in Antarctica is rooted in a careful analysis of available evidence and our current understanding of geology, climate history, and human development. Firstly, Antarctica is and has been for millions of years the coldest, driest, and windiest continent, with temperatures that can drop below -80 degrees Celsius. Surviving in such conditions would be a monumental challenge for any civilization, ancient or modern. Thus, the idea of a long-lost society thriving in this frozen landscape seems unlikely. In terms of geology and climate history, our current understanding tells us that Antarctica has been covered in ice for about 34 million years. This was confirmed by ice cores drilled deep into the Antarctic ice sheet, which provide a record of past climates. This leads us to question, if Antarctica has been an icy wasteland for millions of years, how could an ancient civilization have existed there? Furthermore, the timeline of human evolution and migration also complicates the idea of an ancient Antarctic civilization. Modern humans are believed to have emerged around 300,000 years ago, and our ancestors began to migrate out of Africa about 70,000 years ago. But even if they could have reached Antarctica, the extreme conditions would have made survival virtually impossible. That said, the scientific community is not dismissive of all unconventional ideas. The Piri Reis map, for instance, does raise interesting questions about the knowledge of ancient seafarers. However, rather than attributing this to a lost civilization, most scientists would likely view it as a testament to the skill and knowledge of the historical societies that we already know about. Let's delve into the realm of the deepest human-made hole and consider the climatic history of Antarctica. The title for the deepest humans have drilled into the Earth goes to the Kola Super Deep Borehole, located in Russia. This ambitious drilling project reached a staggering depth of about 7.5 miles or 12 kilometers before it was stopped in the early 1990s. Even this depth, however, is still less than 0.2% of the Earth's total radius. As for Antarctica, deep ice cores have been drilled, but these extend only a few kilometers down, providing a record of hundreds of thousands of years of Earth's climate history. This brings us to the climatic past of Antarctica. According to geologists, Antarctica has not always been the frozen land we know today. The continent was once part of the supercontinent Gondwana, which existed in the southern hemisphere millions of years ago. Fossil records indicate that Gondwana was home to a variety of plant and animal life, suggesting a much warmer climate. Around 180 million years ago, Gondwana started to break apart. Antarctica slowly moved to its present location over the South Pole, and by about 34 million years ago, the continent was rapidly cooling. This cooling trend culminated in the formation of a permanent ice sheet. However, while there were fluctuations in the extent of the ice cover due to global climate cycles, Antarctica has been largely icy for millions of years. There are indeed hypotheses suggesting that parts of Antarctica could have been ice-free and warmer during certain periods due to factors like geothermal heat and changes in Earth's orbit. However, these periods likely occurred millions of years ago, well before humans existed. Thus, while Antarctica may have once been a warmer, hospitable place, this would have been in a geological era far removed from the advent of human civilization. Despite this, the question of Antarctica's past and its secrets continue to captivate scientists and explorers, keeping the icy continent firmly in the realm of intriguing exploration. I hope you enjoyed our video today. Let me know any ideas or suggestions for future videos down below. And as always, thanks for watching.